Bear with me, everyone. Okay. Okay, can someone please put a 1 in chat if you guys can hear me? Because apparently StreamYard is just having an absolute fit tonight. It does not want to work for me in any way, shape, or form. Okay, I see a couple ones coming in. Thank you, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Again, I don't know what's up with StreamYard right now. I've never had this problem before, but it just does not want to cooperate with me. And of course, this is probably the most sophisticated live stream I'm ever gonna do, or have ever done. So what a night for it to start acting up a little bit. But let's get into the thing here. Good news. The reason why I unfortunately missed much of Captain Jack Scrapper's live stream, which thank you again, Captain, for allowing me to go after you on Tuesdays nights and doing a raid with me. I very much appreciate it. And it definitely has been helping my analytics over these last couple weeks. So I really appreciate everyone following over and giving the video a like up. I see people are sharing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The reason why outside of StreamYard not working, part of the reason why I had to delay start of my live stream and missed most of Captain Jack's live stream is because I am currently negotiating with someone for a camper. So fingers crossed. Please send me some good vibes, all of that good stuff, because if I play my cards right and everything falls in line, knock on wood, I should be picking up a camper tomorrow night or Thursday morning. So again, fingers crossed on that. Let's hope that it all plays out in my favor here. I see William saying that you guys love me. I love all of you as well. I see Diane saying StreamYard did a live yesterday and they are adding 3 new features. Interesting. So tonight, where to begin? I want to see, hold on, I want to read Captain Jack's here. Cool, had a little excitement right at the end of my show. Border Patrol surrounded a car right behind me. Turned out no illegals, no drugs either. See, Captain, I told you to behave. I told you to behave, and I left for maybe 3 minutes. But I see Carol in the house, William, Diane, Nancy, so many people. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I got a very special live stream in store here. Even my setup kind of here on this computer, as you guys know, my main PC broke. It's not fixed yet. So I have a laptop on this tiny little table sitting on my camper chair, my camping chair, and then have a monitor also squeezed on this little table with a bunch of souvenirs. So during tonight's live stream, I'm going to show you guys some of my souvenirs. I didn't get too much. You guys know about my belt, Rocky's collar, his leash. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the other items I got while I was over there. And because it fits along with what I'm going to show you guys tonight, I am actually going to read a section out of my new book. Thank you, William, for reminding everybody about the thumbs up. It definitely has been helping these last couple weeks. My analytics are better than they usually are, so I very much appreciate that. So tonight's video is a boat safari. This happened on day 5 of being in Kenya. And honestly, I'm going to let the video play out. It's about 44 minutes long here. And I'm going to talk over it. We're going to read the part of my book. I'll show you guys my souvenirs because unfortunately, this video, while I wanted to record it and just post the raw video originally because it was an hour and a half boat ride, which I didn't know about, and we'll get into that later. I was expecting a lot more hippos and a lot more like entertainment, action. Really, it kind of just turned into a nice day out on a boat. We didn't really get to see a lot. But within, I'd say, about the first 15 minutes here, we do see some animals. I'll just say that. And some scenic, nice views. So I figured I'll just play it in the background while we do tonight's live stream. And I'll talk a little bit about why, like, I'd say this part of the trip, day 5, was the worst day of the trip. And that's part of the book, part of this section that I'm going to read to you guys. It's only a couple pages. But I'll get into all of that here. Let me share this video. So there's not going to be any sound with this video at all either. You guys should just hear me talking as normal, but you should be able to see the video playing instead of me on the screen. And we'll actually do this for now. Kind of bugs me that it's not full screen. Okay, so what we'll do here is, let me pull this back up. I'm going to start this. When we get the ball rolling here, I'm going to drop down. If you guys can just give me a 1 and let me know that you can still hear me, that the video is playing okay. Let's go from there. So let me throw this up and I will disappear. And you guys should still be able to hear me, hopefully. And I'm going to press play on this. So, can you guys hear me still? It looks like I'm still active, but I know every now and then when I get taken off of the screen, my volume and my sound disappears. So before I start reading, I just want to make sure that we can, in fact, hear me. Linda's coming in. Thank you for coming in, Linda, with that 1 and stopping in. Now, before I start reading this section of the book, I just want to point out the trees in this live stream, you guys, because I am a sucker for the trees in Africa. I swear. Being in the UP, born and raised, I guess I always kind of had some passion for the woods and whatnot. But God, these trees are just so beautiful to me. The way they twist and bend, absolutely fell in love with them. And with that, let's just dive right in here, and I'm going to read through these couple pages. So this part of the book is going to be called Kenya. I'm going to label the book in sections followed by chapters. So this is the Kenya section and day 5. Unfortunately, day 5 of our trip, and not only my opinion, but the opinion of practically everybody else on this trip, was extremely disappointing. We left the old Taka Lodge and made a 6 to 7 hour drive all the way to Lake Crescent Camp, only stopping once to use the bathroom. Originally, day 5 was supposed to be one of the most exciting days of the entire trip, as it had one of the 2 main activities I was looking forward to the most. When I had booked the trip, the plan was to go visit Hell's Gate National Park, the landscape that the movie The Lion King is actually based on. While there, we would do a safari in our Jeep, but also get a chance to get out of the vehicle and hike the mountains while also biking down the dirt roads. An absolutely perfect and gorgeous day, I thought. The best part of the entire trip. Then, Not even 2 months prior to my departure to Kenya, we received an email from the company. Kenya trip update, the subject line read. It would go on to explain how our first day in Kenya would change to better match provisions to respect wildlife and follow the guidance on animal welfare provided by a nonprofit called World Animal Protection. Okay, makes sense, I figured. I can respect that. For Hell's Gate, though, that was also canceled and replaced with a boat safari, and they told us it was based on feedback received from previous travelers. That's all that was said, and it was complete bullshit. I'm sorry, but when we asked Kenneth, our tour director, and our driver John, they told us they understood the first day's change, because essentially the locations we would have visited were kind of like a zoo, and thus not wildlife. But the parks, especially Hell's Gate, had never received a complaint, and it just made no sense. Our driver John elaborated further for us, saying a couple months ago, workers from the EF office in the United States had flown over and just started essentially pointing fingers and making changes, even though they personally had never seen or done anything that's part of this trip. Now, that made a lot more sense to me because if you look at the reviews, YouTube videos, etc., everyone that has ever been on this trip prior can't stop talking about Hell's Gate and how it's the best part. But whatever. There was nothing I could do about it, so I figured I'd just go with it and try to make the most of it. After all, there was already several land safaris and no boat safaris. Maybe I'd like it and it would make the trip a little bit more diverse. So as we arrived at this new location, our rooms were cabins, essentially made out of a giant tent. Cool at first. Rocky, why do you always insist on slurping your water nonstop when I'm in the middle of a live stream? I still think you have diabetes. Anyway, where was I? After all, blah, 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 more diverse. So as we arrived at this new location, our rooms were cabins essentially made out of a giant tent. Cool at first until you realize there's practically no lighting except for a couple windows where we could roll up the fabric, which this isn't very helpful when it's dark outside, and also brought the discovery of issue number 2. Once the sun goes down, it gets really cold really fast. Okay, whatever. At least we have the boat safari, and I could wear the GoPro on my head and film the entire safari for YouTube. I'm going to make sure to go and pee twice before we leave, since we are leaving 2 hours earlier than originally planned. And I just drank 3 full travel mugs, thinking I'd have plenty of time to go. So, taking a break from reading the book, that little section right there, I have a different part that talks about the bathroom situation. During the trip, for the most part, we would have to go hours at a time without access to a bathroom. And unfortunately, this is one of the issues I have, which kind of is why my family and doctors think I might have MS or fibromyalgia. I frequently have to go to the bathroom. And unfortunately, even when I do go to the bathroom, sometimes I still have to stay close by. So going hours at a time without a bathroom really became a problem for me during this trip. And when it's 80 degrees outside, you're also supposed to be drinking a lot of water and staying hydrated. So you guys can see kind of the problem that I got into. So originally, when we first left in the morning, we were told that we would get there around noon and that we were going to have lunch and that we would be leaving on the boat safari at 4 p.m. Turns out we ended up getting there at 1:30. We had lunch. I drank water because I hadn't drank anything during our 7-hour drive because I didn't want to go to the bathroom, knowing we were only going to stop once. So when I got there, thinking I had time, I drank 3 giant travel mugs full of water. And next thing I knew, I was being told that in 15 minutes we were going on the boat safari. Okay, so back to the book. So as we got our life jackets and hop on the boat, only for all the action to happen within the first 5 minutes or so, which, where are we right now? What is our time frame at? 8 minutes? I was pretty darn close. Pretty close. As we left the shore, we saw a couple pelicans, and one of the other boats drivers threw them some fish, and after that we saw 2 baby hippos, which you guys are seeing right now on the screen. They were barely sticking out of the water as they slept on the backs of their mothers. Unbeknownst to me, after these 8 minutes, we still had about an hour and a half to go, and I suddenly had the strong need to go to the bathroom. So as we boated across the water into an island where we saw some small dots and a couple small birds, which more on the island later, I managed to hold it for about half an hour before needing to alert the driver of the boat. On the island was a small building, and we were within 50 feet away. So I thought, they contained bathrooms, and I could see people walking around to see the wildlife. So win-win, I thought. Another nope. I had to end up peeing off the side of the boat while we were around a total of 6 other tour boats. A man's got to do what a man's got to do, I shrugged. So after our hour and a half of seeing nearly nothing, and spending a good chunk of it very uncomfortable because of the bathroom situation, we arrived back to shore just in time to find out that we had nearly 4 hours until dinner and absolutely nothing to do. The small blimps on the island were in fact animals. They were giraffes, zebras, countless different animals, and people were allowed to free roam on it. The price of admissions was a mere $20, but we suddenly had no boat willing to bring us there, and it wasn't even that simple as paying $20 at the entrance. I just want to take a moment here. Let me get that off the screen. Linda's saying, wow, that's not right. So you can definitely imagine how me, being the person who wants to live in the moment, I mean, these views, pretty beautiful. Later on in this live stream, this video here, you'll get to see a couple mountains that I thought were really beautiful. But you can imagine how uncomfortable I was and how I was starting to get a little agitated and a little annoyed over the whole situation. When I originally alerted the driver of the boat, he actually told me that we had half an hour to go and then we'd be back to shore. And I ended up watching the clock even after I ended up going to the bathroom and everyone laughing and all of that. It took an hour and 15 minutes from when I asked him to when we got back to shore, and he said it was half an hour. So definitely was not the happiest about that. Okay, so going back to the island, to gain admission, you'd have to go and book it online, And then you have to go to a specialized parks bank to get a receipt. Without a receipt from this special bank and this bank only, you would not get admission. Of course, we now had no ride to the bank though, and naturally, they closed as soon as we got back to shore. So, quite frankly, annoyed and a little angry about the whole ordeal of this day, like many in the group were, I decided to throw my hands up, leave the group behind, and simply go swimming in the freezing cold pool for a bit. Despite the pool being absolutely freezing cold and a little bit nasty, like seriously, parts of it were green. Maybe I shouldn't have been in it. I did have the area to myself though, so I tried to simply relax with some of my favorite music playing off my phone before heading back to our cabin to write part of this book. So that's my little section on day 5 thing. On day 5 here. And I see William mentioning bathroom thing. Wrong. It was so I don't even know if I got it on video, guys. Here you'll actually see every single time the camera points down at all, that's me checking to see how long I've been recording because I need to go to the bathroom. So like right now it's kind of pointing down. It's because I'm trying to figure out how long we've been on this boat. And later on, I don't know if I got it on video, but we were right next to the island. Like I could have jumped off the boat and probably like been up to my hip in water. That's how close we were to the shore of that island. And there was in fact a building right there that was bathrooms. But nope, had to go off the boat. And hey, again, it was one of those things. There was nothing I could do about it. So I kind of threw my hands up. I shrugged. And I even told everyone, I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to go now because it's either that or sit here in discomfort and like for an hour and a half and just not enjoy the boat ride even more than I'm already not. So I was so over it at that point. I just went right off the boat. So let me pull my camera up here. That's not too bad. You guys can still see the video pretty decently here. So now that I'm back on camera, I'll show you guys a couple souvenirs here. Well, actually, let me try to adjust this here. Oh, that's horrible. Better. Still not great. Very hard to see right there, but there was what was it? It was some kind of, oh God, a fish eagle. It is called a fish eagle there, and that's what that bird just was on the video there. He was whistling to it. They're essentially trained almost. He whistles a couple times, gets the bird's attention, and then throws the fish out. And the fish eagle came in, picked it up, and then brought it back to one of those trees. And later on, I did try to film it on video. He tries to do the same thing with some other birds, but they didn't really react. So unfortunately, this was kind of all we saw. More or less, it was just scenic views at that point. And even then, I haven't seen this myself. Looking on the GoPro, I forget how far away it makes everything look. So there's definitely not as good of views as what it actually looked like on the boat. But thankfully, I did have my phone as well. And I took some photos. And that's part of tonight's live stream as well, kind of ending the live stream up once this video is done. I just want to share a couple photos and stuff with you guys because on Thursday, I am meeting with the local artist, the local painter, Anne Marie. And she told me, I asked her, hey, do you want me to organize my photos, anything like that? She said, no, she wants to look through everything and she's going to pick a couple out and pay me for them. And then she's going to paint them, credit me on them. I'm so excited for that. And I also just got a box of frames. So I think I'm going to sell some of my photography locally. Unfortunately, I don't know how to sell it when it comes to shipping just yet. But I am looking into that as well if anyone is interested. So before I show you guys the souvenir, I just want to pull that comment up because some of you were keeping count about how many birds have attacked me, and we definitely don't need to keep count of that. And it definitely may have happened more than once on this trip, and may have also been a key laughing part of the group because suddenly I became known as the guy that gets attacked by birds with this group of 30 people that I just met 5 days ago. Tells you guys how much birds hate me. They really have something out against me. So we're going to try to show you guys this. I'm hoping it's not going to be too small, but I'm not entirely sure. A couple different Polaroids here for you guys. So the first one here is me with our main Jeep, just kind of standing by the front door. This was on the last day of our safari and or our last day of our trip, right after our hot air balloon ride, our breakfast in the morning. We all took some moments to get some solo pictures with the vehicles. I see William asking what type of birds. And honestly, William, I guess that's another complaint I have about this boat safari, for example. They really didn't like the fish eagle. I don't even know if that's a fish eagle. That's an educated guess from me. I don't think he told us it was a fish eagle. Or maybe he did. But they really didn't talk to us. They didn't really tell us anything. They like if we're going to be out on this boat, like right now, for example, beautiful view, but you know, it's taking how long for us to get across the lake to the island right now? Like, please tell us something. Just like tell us about the culture, tell us about the animals. When we see a bird, identify the bird for us. Please, I want to learn about your culture. I want to learn about all of this. Captain is not seeing a Jeep, just water. This is on my screen, Captain. Right in front of my face here. If I can line it up correctly. That's my Polaroid of me with the vehicle. And in hindsight, if any of you ever want to take a safari, Polaroid cameras, not good for animals, not good for scenic views, really, because it makes everything seem so far away. I'll actually show you guys, because we're on that topic right now. You're not going to barely be able to make out anything in this. But that little dot right in the middle of the Polaroid, that tiny little dot right there, that's a giraffe. That is a giraffe, and it was like right next to the vehicle, believe it or not. The Polaroid doesn't do it justice at all. It was right there. And as you saw from the videos last week, I mean, we had elephants walk right in front of the vehicle. the Lions were right next to our vehicle. So you could imagine how close we got to the giraffes as well. I see Nancy. You can tell us anything and we won't know if you're wrong. Probably Nancy, but I always try to at least be accurate and full disclosure. Because I do want to make some education as well. I see. Okay, I thought it was supposed to be on the main screen. We definitely could if you guys want to, because honestly, this video that I'm showing now, at this point, you got some scenic views like that, but outside of that, there's really not much more to see. There's no more hippos. There's a couple birds, but now that I'm looking at the GoPro and seeing how it makes everything look so far away, I don't even know how well we're going to be able to see them. So we can do that if you guys prefer. Just let me know. I want to see. Linda's saying, do you wish you would have used a different company? Honestly, I'm not sure because for starters, I don't know what other company I possibly could have went through. But I think that was I guess that's really one of my biggest complaints is I feel like the company did a bad job with this one. And that wasn't because of the fault of our drivers. That was not the fault of our tour director. And when I left a review, many of us saying that we were going to leave bad reviews. I don't know about everyone else. I know in the moment they were agreeing with my statements. But I made sure when I left a bad review that it was not the drivers. It was not our tour director. I actually specifically told them in my review that I felt like our drivers and our tour director were trying to do the job with their hands tied behind their back at times, which I do not think is fair to us who are paying thousands upon thousands of dollars to go on these trips, nor do I think it's fair to put our drivers or the tour director in that position and expect them to do this phenomenal job when you have both of their hands tied behind their back. Mike is saying, suggestion, make yourself bigger when trying to show those photos. It's going to crop my face off here a little bit. I think I could even try to edit it here. I hope this is not screwing up the live stream for you guys. Not what I wanted. This one. Let me edit layout. Oh, that makes that smaller. Bear with me, guys. I don't know what this looks like on the live stream right now. No idea at all. Okay. Where'd it go? There we go. Does it take a long time for a giraffe to swallow its pride? Oh, Nancy. Lewis is saying, at first I thought this was Google Maps. Williams agreeing. Sounds to me it's definitely the company. That really was the biggest part. Honestly, biggest part of it was the company. I don't like the way things were handled. The tour directors didn't like it. The drivers did not like how things were handled in certain circumstances. And you guys still don't know the overall picture. I do talk about other instances, even day one, where the company kind of screwed people over a little bit. So I see Lewis is saying, waiting for the MLB All-Star game starting at 8 p.m. Ooh, I might have to watch that. Mike is confirming that's even better than the smaller U. Perfect. Yeah, because there's not much to see. Right now we're coming up on some birds here, but with the GoPro, they're so tiny. You really can't see much. I see William is going out bowling again. Man, William, you're going bowling every week. I'm jealous. I need to go out bowling. So, next Polaroid here is after our hot air balloon ride. This is probably the most scenic location I've ever ate a meal. It was right out in the middle of the savannah. I hate that you guys have a reflection. Right out in the middle of the savannah there, though. They picked us up randomly wherever our hot air balloons landed, and then they drove us to this location where we had a breakfast buffet. And the Polaroid, it's still a cool photo and all, but it doesn't do it justice. And luckily, I did take a picture off of my phone for that as well. Well, if you guys can still see me, my laptop just completely went black, so I don't even know if this live stream is still going, let alone if you guys can see or hear me. My laptop is just completely black, so yeah, give me a second here. I'm going to pull up YouTube, and this kind of sucks. This is a brand new laptop, too, and it's plugged in. I don't know what the problem would be. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear or see me anymore. It says my camera light is on still, but my entire screen is pitch black and it won't come back on. Let me just pull up my YouTube so I can see the comments. And I guess we're going to be stuck with this here. My entire screen is pitch black. Okay. Kobe, I bowl every night, second income. Ooh, William, you got to teach me how to do that. And I see everyone confirming they can still see me. They can still hear me. So I guess we're just going to throw my phone right here. And we're just going to do the live stream like this for the rest of the night. Bowls on the lane and okay. Where was I? Oh, William was talking about, did you research the company? So this is the same exact company. I'm looking at my phone. Apologies. This is going to be weird. So I did use this company for Europe. And as you guys know, Europe, I'd probably say Europe was the best trip of my life still. Without a doubt. So really good reputation there. I've talked to many people who have traveled with it, great things. And like I mentioned when I was reading my section of the book, there's countless reviews, YouTube videos, and everyone's talking about how great this Kenya trip is, how phenomenal it is to go to Hell's Gate National Park and all of this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then not even 2 months later, they start changing things up. So I guess that's not common for this group, but it's also not shocking to me because how many stories have you guys heard? I know I've heard a bunch of people from major corporations pointing fingers saying this is how it's going to be done, blah, 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 blah. And they don't even fully understand what the process is. I used to have that at Walmart. You had the big people, the big corporations. These are the rules. This is this. This is this. And they have no idea, would not survive a day on the sales floor themselves. It was kind of like that situation. So there you can see in the video, if it's still going, it kind of looks frozen on my screen. But we're getting really, really close. Just a second here, guys. Okay, perfect. So I just got confirmation. She is willing to sell me the camper for the price that I am asking. It is a 4-hour drive away from me. So I have to contact my boss after this live stream, and I have to leave work early tomorrow. I will drive down there 4 hours, hopefully buy the camper. Everything looks good, everything sounds good. They also work tomorrow though, so they just want me to let them know what time I should be arriving. So I will take care of that after the live stream. And again, keep your fingers crossed for me, guys. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm gonna wait till I got the title in my hand and I got the camper back at the college here. I want everything to go good. I got to figure out how to get insurance on it. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a busy night after this live stream. Anyway, yeah, company was good, not common, but it happened, and it did make the trip not as good as it would have been otherwise. So the next one here, you guys, I apologize because I can't see my camera. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to line this up. But this is a picture of the Maasai village. And I'm just going to hold it here for a minute and let my phone catch up so I can kind of see what it looks like. Not too bad. So this is a picture of the Maasai village. And all the kids and everyone were kind of playing. There was a giant group. Absolutely an amazing photo. One of my favorite Polaroids. I just really had to get a picture of the village as well. And while I was there, while I was there getting a picture of the village, someone saw that I was trying to take a picture, and he offered to let me take a picture of him with the village in the background. Wish it turned out a little bit better than it did, but still a great photo, I think. I don't know how well it's lining up. It looks not too bad. I do see the hearts kind of covering it up. Colby, make sure you check the transmission. I might actually reach out to my uncle after this live stream, or if he's watching right now, heads up, I'm gonna reach out to you. Because maybe I could talk him into doing a 4-hour drive with Rocky and I, and going to check the camper out, because he's the one that lived with me as a nomad. He is a nomad himself. He's been here in the Upper Peninsula for 3-4 weeks now, so I know he's getting really, really itchy boots. So he might be willing to come down. I'm just not entirely sure about that. I see Lewis is saying I meant bye everyone in the chat. If you're leaving, Lewis, bye. You and Rebecca have a great rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in. Next here, where are we at? This whole camera setup's really screwing with me. I gotta look at my camera up here, but my phone's down here with the comments. I got a deck of playing cards, Kenya themed. I always try to get a deck of playing cards for myself and a deck of playing cards for my grandma, because she never got the chance to travel, and it's kind of giving her a little bit of that taste, I guess. I know it's one thing she really wishes that she would have done when she was healthier and able to. So I try to get a deck of cards, and these ones have different members of the tribes that can be found in Kenya. Here we got the wallet I was telling you guys about that I bought when I bought my belt and Rocky's collar and all of that. And as you can see, it says Kobe Tough on it. So something that technically has my name, and it's even spelt Kobe. So pretty cool. It is a little nerve-wracking because of the way it holds my debit cards and everything. I have to figure out a better way to do that. I don't fully trust it yet, but I also haven't had any issues with it. And then I do got a chessboard. And the chessboard itself is made of fabric. So nothing too fancy. And I'll just show you guys a couple of the pieces here. The pieces are also handmade, and they're made out of metal. And it looks like I just noticed that they have like symbols on them that I never even noticed before. And it probably... Oh, I think this is I think this is telling you how the chess pieces move. It is actually. So as you guys can tell, hopefully with this one, I don't know how well I'm holding it. We have a giraffe. We have an elephant. We have a lion. And there's like monkeys. There's a couple other animals in here. And they all came in this little bag. So originally you would roll up the fabric chest, and it would be in this thick tube, traveling tube. And this would be sitting inside as well. So it's nice for travelers. But unfortunately, the tube would not fit in my suitcase, and I didn't think about putting it in my duffel bag because I was nervous of potentially losing that, as it was a checked-in bag. There's that bathroom right there. Right there, you guys. I don't know if you guys can see it on my screen. It's freezing, but the bathroom is right there. I'm still a little agitated about it. Anyway... I see Linda saying nice souvenirs. Thank you. William saying keepsakes. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely some keepsakes. Couple cheap. Rewind. Not cheap. Not cheap at all. Couple souvenirs. Because obviously my end goal in life is to live in a camper again and be traveling one day across country. So thinking like long run, I need to be able to store the stuff in the camper. So I can't afford to be buying suitcases upon suitcases worth of souvenirs whenever I leave. And I also didn't get souvenirs for a majority of my family. I did do a couple people. I'm not going to say who, but they got a couple unique handmade items, but they were very, very expensive. Now, Kenya is a third world country. So when I originally heard that it's very expensive, I just kind of laughed. I was like, it's a third world country. Like, it's not going to be expensive. It's like not a problem. Don't even have to be concerned about that. No. Based off of the couple souvenirs that I got, one of which was a painting. I think I posted a picture of it. Out of those souvenirs and the couple, like I think 3 or 4 I bought for family, I probably spent $700 to $800 on the souvenirs. So the way the souvenirs work is they basically, we went to community markets, and it's this big tent, and it's just filled with stuff. And as you walk in, someone greets you, and they're going to help you look. They're going to help you pick stuff out, and there's no set prices on anything. So an item like the chessboard, for example, they will, they'll just tell you like, hey, or for example, someone wanted 2 small magnets about the size of my Polaroids. 2 magnets. Guess what the price was? For 2 small magnets of that size, of a Polaroid size, they wanted $150 US. And that was after getting them to negotiate down a little bit. So it was fun to kind of negotiate, but also the stuff was really, really, really freaking expensive. And that, I guess, is part of my complaint too for the trip. I did not expect everything to be so expensive over there, but it was also like I made sure to buy stuff that's very, very good choices, like Linda's saying. Stuff that I really, really like. The wallet, the collar, the belt, the dog leash, stuff I'm going to use and see every single day for many, 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 many years. And part of it was the fact that your money is going to the artist, we'll say, and they directly benefit. So it's not going to a million, billion, $1 trillion company. That made a difference to me. Because, for example, public school there is not free. And I see, I'm going to answer your comment, William. We'll get to that. But I see Captain mentioning, wow, magnets are $2.99 at Walmart. Exactly my point. But public school is not free over there. Public school costs $700 minimum US dollars, minimum per year. That's not including other stuff. So all of a sudden, buying a painting like I did, I negotiated them down from 250 to 180 on that. Suddenly, it doesn't seem as bad of a deal because it's handmade. It's very, like, takes a lot of skill. I'm very, very impressed with it. I'm going to see it every single day. It's absolutely beautiful. I got a couple Polaroids in there now. I got a special, very meaningful item on top of the frame to the Maasai tribe. So lots of meaning to it. Pretty reasonable. Cost me $220 once I got the frame and everything all said and done. But Rocky, what are you doing? Don't make a mess. I just put all your toys away. Don't take them out again, mister. You're a kiss up. You're lucky you're cute. Go play with your toys. You got me wrapped around your paw, and it's a problem. So yeah, suddenly it wasn't as big of a problem to me, knowing that my money was actually going to benefit people. But again, expensive. So William's asking, Kobe, I know you got sick. What was the best food? So I did not get sick in Kenya. What ended up happening was I went to Cracker Barrel on a Tuesday night because my flight left Wednesday at like 7 a.m. And Minneapolis is about 4.5, 5 hours away from me. I drove there, had Cracker Barrel because I only had it once as a nomad. Absolutely fell in love with it. It's the food I miss the most from being on the road. And unfortunately, the Cracker Barrel is what gave me the food poisoning, which I then had to deal with on flights that were hours upon hours long. And then when I was there, I had a cold. Probably could be allergies, could have been adjustment to the climate. I had the same thing when I got back here. It could have been side effects from the vaccine, stuff like that. So really, I never got sick off of, knock on wood, because I still could actually. I never got sick off of the Kenya food. The reason why I say I still can get sick is because malaria, and there's a couple, like malaria's mosquitoes, but there's a couple things with food as well. If there was bacteria in any of the things I consumed, drinks or food, it takes a couple weeks for you to actually get sick. So within the next week or so, that might actually happen. I got into the hospital. I wanted to tell you guys that last week during the live, and I forgot. I'm not going to forget your question, William. We'll get back to it. But I did get to the hospital. I told them, hey, I just want to set up a follow-up appointment for my physical health like we originally talked about. But I've also been experiencing blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I just want to know, is it like side effects from the vaccines? Like, what's going on here? And that was last Wednesday. They did tell me, like they were concerned. Within 30 seconds, they got back to me. They said, we have an opening at 11 a.m. Can you be here? Okay. I guess there was some concern that I might have some slight internal bleeding, which I thought was kind of funny because it's like, we want you to get in right away, but also not like right away, like the ER. So, but luckily no internal bleeding. And they told me they think it was extreme jet lag plus side effects from the vaccine, plus just typical stress and stuff. You're riding a high and then all of a sudden you're back, you're crashing essentially. Your adrenaline's crashing. So they think it was those things, but they told me give it 1 to 2 more weeks. Your symptoms and everything, your jet lag, the vaccine side effects, all of that should disappear, which is probably why every single day you are seeing an improvement. But in 1 to 2 weeks, if you start getting worse, if you have more symptoms, let us know right away because I could be catching malaria. Or I could have been dealing with an early case of some of the bacterias from the foods. And here we are, week later. My cold is gone. Mentally, I'm doing good again. So everything is pretty much back to normal at this point. So to answer your question, William, what was the best food? The best food, in my opinion, as American as this is going to sound, was some chicken Alfredo. I always did try a couple new things with every single meal that I had, but a lot of it also wasn't very authentic Kenya. Like there's a meat there. I don't remember what it's called, but it's very, very, like a very big deal, very traditional. And I never got the chance, never got the opportunity. It was never offered to us. Now, would I have ate it? Probably not, because what it is it's like cow intestines, like stuffed with other meat and then smoked. And I'm not a big meat eater. So I probably wouldn't have. But then again, maybe I would have if I had the opportunity to try a little bite just to say I tried something authentic, to try their culture. So the buffets, I tried to do new sides, new desserts, new main dishes when I could. Every buffet I tried something new. But the chicken Alfredo there, being a big fan of chicken Alfredo here, and I never get it. Oh my God, it was amazing. Like, they gave me a huge bowl and it was so heavy, and I like the rest of the table was actually laughing at me because I told someone, oh, it's so good, you need to go get it. And I was like, I haven't even tried it yet, but I talked her into it. And they're laughing. And by the time she came back with her plate, mine was gone. 5-10 minutes gone. I was just stuffing my face. It was so good. Best Alfredo I've ever had. 5th frame, perfect game so far. Ooh, you got this, William. Halfway there. So yes, that was my favorite food. Couple souvenirs. The actually last 2 that I'm forgetting to show you guys. I got to meet the pilots when we landed in Kenya, and Delta actually has trading cards. So I looked into it a little bit. I tried my luck, and I was able to get this trading card, and I think this might be, as a kid, I used to collect trading cards with my father. I think this trading card is the best trading card and the most meaningful one I have ever received, because I got to meet the pilots when I landed in Kenya, and the A350 is the plane that brought me to Kenya. And it's shiny. It's shiny. I like it. It's nice and shiny. It's got my attention. But absolutely love it. I'm trying to scroll on my laptop to read the comments. Oh my God. Kobe, a good luck charm. Oh, no comment, William. No comment. Good luck has never been my thing. Sometimes, I guess. Sometimes. Although I beg to differ that those sometimes were also like I made that good luck. So my family's always joked that if we did not have luck, or if we did not have bad luck, we would not have luck at all. And if that was the case, that would ultimately be a sign of good luck, because we need to catch a freaking break. We used to joke all the time about that kind of stuff. But I am going to wrap it up here, guys. I'm a little bit hungry. Got to go to the bathroom myself. Again. See the problems I deal with when I'm traveling and with these health stuff. But I also want to get everything lined up for this camper. I need to put all gears need to be shifted to that right now, because I need to get work handled, my RA. Several things need to get lined up here. So thank you all for tuning in. I don't know if we've done a full hour or not yet, but that's more or less what I wanted to get to today, what I wanted to show you guys today. I see William saying the Lions are awesome. Those were awesome. Now that was good luck. That was good luck right there. And you guys haven't seen, I got video of them hunting an animal, and that was a really cool experience, even though we didn't get to see the chase or see them capture the animal. It was still really, really cool to see that. Linda is confirming that we have been just over an hour, so perfect. Love to hear it. And I don't think anyone's going live after me tonight, so we don't have to worry about a raid. But thank you again, everyone, for tuning in, bearing with me with these difficulties, stuff like that. I honestly don't even know how I'm going to end the live stream right now, because my laptop is still black. So I'm probably just going to force the laptop to shut down and hope and pray it ends the live stream. So we're just going to end it with that. Thank you all for tuning in. Much love, all that good stuff. Please send some good vibes and keep your fingers crossed for me and that camper. If I get it, I will make a post or something confirming it within the next 2 days. So keep an eye out. And until then, everyone take care. And I will see you tomorrow at Captain Jack's at Kicks at 6, followed by Nate at 8. Okay. Now I just have to figure out how to shut this down. Let's see. I can't believe my laptop this was a brand new laptop. Oh, computers don't like me lately. I've barely used it. No, don't want to do that. I did not take that photo, but that is a beautiful photo. Oh, I never showed you guys the photos. We'll do that a different day. If anyone's still in chat listening to me lose my mind right now. Da, 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 da. What is going on? No, don't need that. Don't need that. No, I don't need that. Yep, best guess is going to be to force it to shut down, and let's hope it shuts it down. Peekaboo.